Hello, this is Adam from Scan Pro Audio, and I'm here with the amazing PA5X 61. Don't forget there are three models available in the range: a 61 note version, a 76 note version, and for the first time in many a year, an 88 note weighted version, all available from here at Scan. What I thought I was going to look at today is look at an amazing brand new feature for the PA5X. Now, it's a feature that has kind of been available on other models before. It has been available on the PA1000, for example, and the PA700, and to some degree on the PA4X too. But for the PA5X, they've completely changed it and really brought it as an amazing feature that you can use at home, and I'll show you how to do that. And that is the amazing new chord feature for the PA5X. So if we look at the panel here, you can see this is our main screen area here, and what I have got along the bottom here is the ability to change through all the different modes of the keyboard. So for example, this is where we select our keyboard set. We've got, this is how the keyboard set is filled up. And what I'm going to do, I'll jump to the screen so you can actually see probably better there. So you've got a control interface there. You can see what each of the sliders are doing. We've got a beautiful new mixer so you can go into and you can see, you know, all the different sort of sounds that are available in your pads or in your upper sounds or your lower, or you can even do it for your style as well. So you can see there, these are all the instruments that are available in the style. But what I wanted to look at is this brand new feature called Chords. You can just see it at the bottom there. Now, what that does is that will allow the keyboard to take over from the style. So I've got, for example, the first style here is called Blinding Pop. So you can see I've got Blinding Pop selected up here. I've got the chords on here. And what you've got here on the left hand side is you've got your sort of chord scanning area that you had on your PA4X. It's here on the PA5X as well. But you've got a new feature, a new button called Sequence. And what happens is if I switch this on now, you'll see in the screen some chords have appeared. Yeah. And what that will do is that will now allow the keyboard to take over and play in a loop those chords that you've got programmed. And every single style has a pre-recorded chord sequence. So if I set this going now, so if I simply press start, the keyboard will play in a loop. It'll change now. You can see it going through, and if I zoom into the screen, you can see it ticking through. But the beauty is it still gives me that freedom to kind of press the fill-ins and press the variations, play a melody if I want to. I can even still play a left hand, even though it's playing this sort of loop, if you will. If I bring in a left hand now, and I'll simply switch it on, and I'll try and play along now. So all the keyboard is doing is it's simply playing along with those pre-recorded chords. And I can still select my different keyboard sets and turn it into a full performance. So you get the idea. Now what we've also got is the ability to record our own. So at the top here we've got a little record button. You can see if I activate that it flashes red. It's waiting for me to put my chords in, but there's more on that later. So what I wanted to do is simply look at some different sort of styles that we've got in the keyboard here, in the instrument, and show you the chord sequences that come with them. And I often find that when you get a new keyboard, there's always styles that you love, the styles that remind you of famous songs that you may play already, or certainly will inspire you to get out there and get the sheet music and learn these new pieces. And sometimes The name of the style gives a hint. For example, that style there is called Blinding Pop. So I'll give you a clue to that one. But now you've not just got the name, but you've got these chord sequences that give you help and ideas into playing new songs. So if we come into, let's go into here. I'm going to go into a few different style categories now. So we're in pop at the moment. So let's go down to classic pop and onto page 1. And let's look at some different styles. So I'm going to go with this one here. And the beauty is now is if I press the chord sequence on, you can see there's my chord sequence, so I'm kind of get the idea of what key I'm playing in. The first chord is E, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch the chord sequence off and I'm going to play that first chord, and then what that will do is that will give us our introduction. So here we go. So I've picked the style, play a chord of E, and while that's playing there, you can see on the top of the screen it's giving us the chords so we can even play along. So that's a first. You've never had that on the Korgs before. It's been a well requested feature. It allows you to play along. So now we're into our style now. So this is our style. So I'm going to go to variation 1. There it is, playing away, variation number 1. And I'm going to just switch on the chord sequence. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, start. Now watch what happens when it gets to the end. 3, 4, back to the beginning again. It just literally plays in a loop. Now, for example, if you want to put your own in, you could record the whole chords for the whole song. And that takes away that frustration of not only getting your right hand melody correct and of course your left hand chords, but worrying about what the band's doing. You know, and the beauty is it takes that pressure away. Some people say, is it kind of like cheating? So I don't believe it is, because if you're still playing the chords with your left hand and you're still playing the melody, it's the same thing. It's just giving you the opportunity to switch in your variations, your fill-ins, or you could even use it as a practice tool. You could simply record 3 or 4 bars of that tricky bit of your song that you've got, simply play it in a loop, and then just keep practicing those tricky fingering notes over the top, and they will help you practice. Or if you're playing a boogie woogie as an example and you wanted to go into some kind of guitar solo or grand piano solo or whatever, simply press the sequence on and let the keyboard takes over, because that's the other clever thing. So if I go into jazz now and I'm just going to pick the very first style, what I'm going to do is I'll record some chords in, and you can kind of see what will happen. So you simply press record, and as soon as I touch the keyboard now, the style will start, but it will also start recording. So here we go. Stop. So what I've done now is I've stopped it, and that will then start the loop. So I've got my chord that I've simply recorded in there, and that will just keep playing round and round and round on a loop. So I've got 4 sounds. Start with piano. Okay, so introduction number 2, and this is our song. Here we go, start the sequence. Coming up to the end. Into the solo. the song. And then end. Yeah, so you get the idea. You can simply record the whole song if you want. Now, if you wanted to just sort of play the song yourself this time, but bring in that chord sequence, you can do that too. Because the beauty is there's no stutter, there's no stagger. It will literally start playing the chord sequence on the next bar. So let's get it going again. So I'm now playing the chords and I'm now triggering the automatics. Okay, so now I want to bring in the chords. No different. I want to take over. I'm now playing again. So you get the idea. And once you've got that chord clip, as it's called just in the screen there, if you want to save that, you simply press the three sort of lines at the top right hand corner of the screen. So this is a screen page. You simply hit the third one down there where it says save chord sequence to library. It's saying what would you like to name it. I suggest chord clip. You could just give it a name and then it will store in a user location. So again, a really useful tool for playing live, recording sort of a tricky part of a song. And the beauty is you can build up your own library of sort of these chord sequences. It's great for songwriting because what you can also do is built into this instrument are many other chord sequences that you can select from. So let's do an example. So we're in the big band category, so we'll stay there. So this one here is I found this. I stumbled upon this one. It was actually a customer that mentioned to me it's for this song. I didn't realise what song it was for. I always forget what I was playing. It's a really nice sort of slow swing style. With some really nice sort of keyboard sets. And I realised that when I pressed the chord sequence, it was for this song. So you get the idea. It's a really nice style. So what you can now do is you can then at the top here in the screen where it says orchestral swing, this is telling me the chord sequence that is currently active. And one other thing is that you can see where it says chord sequence, just to the left of that there's a little sort of square with an arrow in it. I'll just zoom into the screen. If I press that, it literally opens up the screen, so it gives you a larger area that you can view your chords. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tap where it says orchestral swing, and then this will now give me loads and loads of chord sequences to choose from. And this is again where it's really useful and great for songwriting, because in here you've got lots of ideas for chord sequences that go together. For example, things like 12-bar blues or 4 bars easy. So if I go into that one, you've got like love 60s or love 50s, you know, love songs that are written in the 50s. What chord sequences would it have used? wannabe 80s EDM, electronic dance music, what kind of chord sequences would work for that style of music. So great for practicing soloing and things like that. If we go into sort of 4 bars complex, so these are really difficult jazz chords, you know, Jazzy Love, In the Air Tonight, Isn't She Lovely, Forever Green. If we go into blues, you got 12 major classic 2, turnaround chords, all these different things for practicing all these different genres of music. But what you've also got is in the jazz category, you've got real songs. There's no copyright anymore on these songs because they're so old. So they're just standard songs. So you've got lots and lots of famous songs, the full sequence of chords. So for example, if we went into, I don't know, Satin Doll, it's probably not going to work with this style, but we'll have a do. It's definitely not going to work with that. So I'm going to just simply change this style. So I'll go back into here and I'm going to pick a different style. Perfect, there we go. So if I go back into chords again, hit where it says Swing 66 at the top. There we go. So if I wanted to play Satin Doll, and now press the chords on, it gives me the full song for Satin Doll. I just need to learn to play it in that particular key, but it should be D minor, it shouldn't be too difficult. So if we just go pick one of the keyboard sets, so you can just see what I'm doing here. I'm just literally, that'll do. And I literally press start, and this is Satin Doll with the chords that the PA5X has given me. Whoa, way too fast. I'm just going to bring it down just a couple of taps. Perfect. Bring it in now. Here we go. And so on. So you get the idea. These full songs with chords. It's a really, really clever thing. Now the other thing that's really nice as well is if you, for example, are playing in a style like I found one before, it was quite good. So go to classic pop, and I'm going to pick Crazy Little Pop. So this is a great style for, of course, Crazy Little Thing. Called Love if I play this now. So the key chord sequence is in, what are we in? D. So just work this out. There you go. Even get those bum notes in there for free. So you get the idea. I like the chord sequence, I just don't like the style because, of course, you know, in recent years we've had Michael Bublé cover that song. So you might want to give it a big band flavour rather than having it stuck in that pop style. So what you can do is if you simply press the top right hand corner of the screen and select Save Chord Sequence to Library, it says what are you going to call it? I'm not going to call it chords. I'm going to give it a name of a song, so I'm just going to call it Crazy Little Thing. So give me an idea of what it is. Crazy Little Thing. Okay. And it's asking me now, where would you like to store that? So I'm just going to store it in user 1, which is the first bank. So save. So now I need to find our Michael Bublé type big band style. So you go back into style again, into jazz. And I'm just going to literally pick the... Oh, Big Band Shuffle. Let's do that one. That'll do, but it's just too slow. So I'm just going to speed it up. That works. Now, if we actually go to the chords page, you can see it's actually got a chord sequence already there loaded in. So let's just activate it. Let's have a listen, see what it is. No idea what that is, but I'm sure many of you are screaming at your TV now going, it's this song, it's this song. But what I want to do now is not use that. I want to load in the one that we've just put that we just saved. So you literally tap where it says slow big band shuffle, and this time, rather than selecting from here where all of our sort of factory chord sequences are, we want to go into user, into this one here. I've got some that I've done already, but you can see crazy little thing is there. Exit from that, switch on the sequence, and you can see, so we've now got sort of a Michael Bublé style version. So let's pick a sound. Change the variation sound. So you get the idea. You can even steal the chord sequences from the other styles and layer them on top of another style. Fantastic way of playing, and really an inspiring way to play if you're not confident with playing chords and learning all these new chords, or simply, if you're like me, remembering all those chords. You can sort of finger out a melody with a few bum notes, as you just heard there, but you kind of sometimes forget the chord structure or the chord pattern or whatever. It's a really nice way of literally recording those chords in there. But when you press the chord sequence and you can see your chord sequence, it's like having sheet music in a way. You're still going to play the chords. It doesn't matter that the automatics are being triggered by this. It allows you to kind of concentrate on other things, practice the melody or learn a solo, or you know, use the fill-ins or the variations that you've never done before. Just one other thing that you can do, which is really clever as well, which I'll load in just to finish, is you can also load in, because you've got these two players now, so you could load in something else into player 2. So what I'm going to do for this example, in player 1, I'm just going to quickly load in something that I prepared earlier when I find it. Let's have a look. What can I show you? What have we got? There we go. So I'll load in this one here, and so a great style called New 50s Pop. This is the style. So it's kind of that retro, modern but retro 50s kind of style. Okay, the chord sequence just so happens to be for a famous song. So what I'm going to do is in the right hand side here in the other player, I'm literally going to go into here and load in an audio file. So I'll just go into here and I find where it is. There it is. So now what I've got is I've got on the right hand side player, I have got an audio track of just someone singing, and in the left hand I've literally got the style with a chord sequence. So I'm going to literally, you can see my chord sequence is ready to play. I switch it on, which is flashing there ready for me to start. So all I'm going to do now is start the MIDI file, start the MP3 of the singer, and then start the style.
Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. You got the healing that I want, just like they say in the song. Till the dawn, let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. We got this king size to ourselves. Don't have to share with no one else. Don't keep your secrets to yourself. It's Kama Sutra show and tell. Yeah. Whoa.
So you can hear there, the left, there's just the style. And on the right hand side
It's so subtle.
is my vocal.
I'm in trouble.
Put them together.
Get it on. You got the healing that I want.
absolutely amazing and a fantastic feature that you can now use on the PA5X, and it ultimately makes this keyboard more playable. Every style has got a preset chord sequence. You can put your own in there. You can even save the preset chord sequence that's already in a style, give it a name, and then switch it to another style. It's amazing, and it's such a great new feature that's now available on the PA5X. So that's it. That was me explaining the chord sequence. I hope you found this video enjoyable. Don't forget, you can come and see us here at Scan in Bolton if you want to have a demonstration of these amazing instruments, or contact us if you'd like a demonstration like we've just done today with a simple video with different camera angles, etc. Please send us an email at scanproaudio@scan.co.uk. That's scanproaudio@scan.co.uk. My name's Adam, and we shall see you next time.